Yo, what's good? Welcome back to Gridiron podcast. I'm your host,
Yo,
JB. As always, joining me is Devontae Forever. And then, of course, he's back. Of course, he only shows up when Patrick Mahomes does something spectacular. DJ R&B. What's
let's
good,
get
yo?
it. Yo.
What's good? What's going on, Devontae?
What's up? What's up with you?
Not much, man. Yo, as always, y'all appreciate all the love and support, man, as we close out on this NFL season, which is crazy. Started out with 32 teams. Now, obviously, we are down to one. Chiefs are the lone, the lone wolf, the last standing. Shout out to Kansas City and the crew. Yeah, man. But before we get into that specific game, I just want to get your thoughts. DJ R&B, what's your thoughts on the NFL season overall? Obviously, I think it was like over 200 games or something like that played. What's your thoughts on the entire season?
I think it was a weird season, but I think it was an important season. A lot of young quarterbacks, basically, as you know, Tom Brady's done. Basically, he's done. I think Aaron Rodgers might got one more year, then he's pretty much done. It's a whole new era, and I think this was what cemented the NFL going forward. That people like Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrows, Jalen Hurts. You got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. They basically Hurts. Not Hurts. The dude from the Chargers.
Herbert.
They're basically like, look, we got it. So I think this is a very important season, going forward. They got the stars who they marketable, they're nice. These young cats are balling.
Yeah, man. Look, man. If you ever thought the NFL was going to be in good hands, you absolutely was right. The talent pool is crazy lately. I'm gonna bring it to Devontae. What's your thoughts on the NFL season as a whole? You know what I mean? All 20 weeks.
I think I pretty much agree with Reggie with a lot of this, what he said about quarterbacks, how we are getting into that new era. It kind of feels like 2004 all over again, when you had the Big Ben, the Phillip Rivers, the Eli Mannings, all come in the world, when you're starting to see how Brett Favre slowly started to tail off out of his career. I think we're starting to really see that new regime. So kind of like the same thing when Russell Wilson came in and those boys did, Aaron Rodgers, et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of like that same thing where in the quarterback standpoint, I thought this was a very fun year. It was very out of the blue. There's a lot of random stuff that happened. There's a lot of surprises, which you don't really get a lot in the NFL. A lot of times, just the same six teams who are nice. Everybody else is just random. You got to see franchises who came from the dirt. Like the Jaguars came out of nowhere. The Detroit Lions came way out of left field. You started to see, this is one of the very first years where you started to see a draft class of rookies play ball. You start to see corner Sauce Gardner, who's locking everybody down. You started to see dudes like Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall. I'm going all day. You starting to, but one of the biggest things about this season you're gonna see is the fact of they really need to go over officiating with these new rules, and some of these rules are absolutely absurd. These roughing the passer calls are getting ridiculous. Some of these pass interferences are getting ridiculous. But they're gonna really have to go over some of these rules in this next offseason. That's the main thing, is that they gotta get this officiating under control.
Yeah, I thought the NFL season, I agree with what both of you said. I think obviously the youth has been balling. Joe Burrow is three years in. He's played in his second championship game. Patrick Mahomes is 5-6 years in now. He's played in his fifth championship game, third Super Bowl. Josh Allen has been in the playoffs consecutively. Lamar would have, had he not got hurt, he would have played in the playoffs again. Herbert made it to the playoffs. I think a lot of the youth has been shining. Of course, what Devontae said with Sauce and Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, a lot of those guys. I think the NFL's in good hands. We also had some teams that were supposed to be good and just didn't pan out. The entire AFC West, besides the Chiefs, is supposed to be right up there with the Chiefs.
Broncos, I don't know what happened. They may be an idiot, because
hey, man,
I expected the Broncos to be strong.
I didn't.
No, man, but then on the other hand, the NFC East sent 3 teams to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Who would have called that? So I think overall it's been a good year. And of course that was capped off by what was a very good final game. So it's time to get right into the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna start this one off with Mr. my homeboy himself, DJ R&B. Yo, what's your thoughts on Super Bowl 57?
I think it was a very good game. Two teams evenly matched. They both came in with game plans and both used their game plans to perfection. But like the whole second quarter is like the Chiefs like barely almost never touched the ball. They had like a 3 and out, and then at the end of the game, like 2 plays.
Right.
Like the Eagles literally just they played the Eagles ball, and then the Chiefs played the Chiefs ball. And it just came down to a few couple of plays, of course, that could have went either way. Not even talking about the penalty, which was holding. I'm sure we're gonna talk about that later. We're talking about like the Chiefs missed the field goal. Like there's a couple calls that could have went either way. Like I don't care nobody. The right tackle of the Eagles, he kept full start in every play, and they wasn't calling. I'm like, bro, that's full start. Like either like he's fast and everybody else is slow, but he's moving before the ball is snapped, and they never called it all game. I think it was in the third quarter when they tried to throw a screen. Eagles threw a screen pass, and the guy got hit, and it looked like Chiefs returned another fumble for a touchdown.
Right.
It was very, very close also.
Yeah.
Extremely close. And I think it was literally 2 evenly matched teams. It was the perfect matchup.
Yeah. Devontae, before I get to you, yeah, man, I thought it was a lot of like close calls, like whether it was catching the ball with catch, not a catch. The fumble that would have been a touchdown, a second touchdown for Nick Bolton, who had an incredible game, man.
You would have stole the MVP.
Right, yeah, right. If you get 2 defensive touchdowns, you gotta win it, right? Like you gotta win it. Which that play within itself was crazy. It was like a phantom fumble. Like the replay, like he never even touched the ball. Like the defender, he just dropped it. Like Hurst just dropped it. But like the thrill of that was crazy. Then he got the ball back and just went right back down the field like nothing happened. Like I think Jalen Hurts definitely silenced a lot of his doubters. I know he didn't win the games per se, but he also didn't get a chance to win the game because the Chiefs got the first down, ran out the clock. You know what I mean? But yeah, I thought it was a great game. Devontae, what was your thoughts on Super Bowl 57?
One, it was a great Super Bowl. I had a great time watching it. And number 2, I legit called it like straight on the money. I said somehow, I don't know how the Chiefs are going to win. Somehow the refs are going to get in the way and the Chiefs walk away. I literally called it like straight to the T. I'm just saying.
Last week he called it.
Literally, but like it was literally everything I thought it was going to be. 35-35. It was a dog fight. It literally was a dog fight. It literally was going to come down to whatever team had the ball last. It just happened to be the Kansas. I just somehow figured it was going to happen to be the Kansas City Chiefs. And yes, I think Patrick Mahomes played great ball. Shout out to my old Pittsburgh alum, Juju Smith-Schuster, because he actually he was putting in work. He actually he was making some good contested catches and et cetera, et cetera. Like he was doing things I wish he was doing in Pittsburgh after the second year, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Right.
But no, like I think the real MVP of that game, honestly, is the Kansas City offensive line.
Yeah,
to
that
hold
offensive line is
like
nasty,
and to hold the front like that.
They couldn't breathe on Mahomes, let alone put pressure on him.
That's all facts. Like a lot of times, offensive line work a lot of times gets overlooked because it's not the prettiest thing to look at. But the fact of you holding the number 1 pass rush defense like that down like that, and they were able to run the ball too. So it wasn't like they weren't just pass block; they were just pass blocking and chilling. Like they did everything well in every thing. Like that offensive line played exceptional. There's nothing you can ask more. The Eagles fought very hard, and the Eagles are going to be even more scary now that they got 2 first-round picks in the first round.
Which is crazy.
Wow, yeah.
Which is crazy, yeah.
And one of the top 10 picks, so it's really cheating. So, like, I just think it was a great Super Bowl, man, for sure.
And just to chime in real quick, I think the Chiefs coaching staff, shout out to them, like that last drive at the end of the game when the Eagles basically did all right, let him score so we can get the ball back, and the guy basically just stopped at the 2-yard line. Like,
yeah.
That's coaching. That's literally you telling you that's coaching. Like, there's no other way around that. Because who doesn't want to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl?
Right,
right. Just stop on the 2-yard line like that. That's crazy. Like, that's basically like, yeah, we're not gonna give him a chance to drive down the field, which they would have done. So
yeah, right.
That's genius.
If you know what, that's a great point because like I could almost predict what was gonna happen. I agree. Hurts would have got the ball. They would have scored a touchdown. Sirianni would have went for 2, and they would have had quarterback sneak and won the game. Yeah.
Yo, that quarterback sneak.
Look, man. Like obviously, so let's get into it, man. The it wasn't pass interference, it was a hold. The holding call, obviously, by the letter of the law, it was a hold. Obviously, you look at the rule book, look at all the video evidence, it was a hold. He even admitted, Bradbury admitted it was a hold. I think a lot of the issue came with the consistency. You know what I mean? One of the things that I will say about this entire season is the inconsistency of the refs. You know what I mean? There's some games they let them play, and I'm all for it. There's some games they call it damn near by the nature of the law, which means there's tons of flags, and I'm fine with it. It's the consistency. You know what I mean? Juju and the crew been fighting with the Eagles. Eagles been fighting with the Chiefs the entire game, and there was only two holding calls the entire game. You know what I mean? 1-1, so it's not like one team. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just when it came. So I thought in that way you throw no flag, but my issue is more with that rule, right? Quarterbacks, Derek Carr, he does it all the time, and I hate it. Instead of throwing to somebody else who's open, he'll throw because he knows there's a hold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get it. You know, you manipulate the rules, and I get it. But I have a problem with that rule. I think it should be such that I think they need to bring back the uncatchable ball thing for a hold. I know we still got to have pass interference, but for a hold, because Mahomes threw that ball damn near into the stands. You know what I mean? like that pass was never like intended to go nowhere. That's my problem with the rule. Reggie, what did you think about that? I know obviously you said it was a hold, of course, but
he held him. like I think when it comes down to it, is like he held him. Like I said, if they would have called pass interference, absolutely not, because the ball is uncatchable. But a hold, the uncatchable thing doesn't matter because you held him. Like it could be you could throw to the opposite side of the field. If you hold somebody on the left, it's a hold. Right. End of the day, don't hold him. He didn't have no reason to hold him. He wouldn't have caught it anyway. Just like he was playing good defense. He was right there to make a play. He had no reason to hold him. And it's kind of like, I do agree with the consistency, but I think it's the opposite. They should have caught a couple of holding ones on the Eagles earlier that they missed. One was on like a 3rd and long when the guy literally held Juju and he didn't call it, and the Chiefs didn't end up punting the ball. They get that hold there, it could be a completely different ball game we're talking about.
Devontae, what's your thoughts on that?
No, I agree. It was definitely a hold. It was 100% a hold, but it's one of those things where it's like, was I surprised? No, because I pretty much damn near called it. It's like the officiating has been up and down and finicky all year because of all these stupid new rule changes. Like if we talk about I feel for corners because it's like their job is the hardest job on the field if we really keep it in the stack. Like they got to guard some of the fastest dudes on the planet and not touch them pretty much, and they're getting the flag call. And then more importantly, look what D linemen have to deal with all the time, where it's like now you can't land on the quarterback, you can't drag them down. Like it's like all this weird stuff. You pretty much patty cake the quarterback. It's a flag for roughing the passer. Like all these new rule changes, and now what? Guarantee you after the Brock Purdy elbow incident, now they're gonna say, oh, you can't swat out the ball when they throw. What? Like what you mean? Like
I think some of it depends, because like especially the big thing now is player safety, which of course because of lawsuits, people dying with CT, you have to. We all know some stuff with the quarterbacks. Y'all both play defense. Some of those are free hits. You know, okay, this is a free hit on the quarterback where you don't have to do that. You're 300 pounds. This is a hit on the quarterback. You don't have to drop your weight in the quarterback. That has nothing to do with playing defense. So that's what they're trying to take out the game, which I give him credit for. Yes, sometimes it's like, come on, bro. Like, really? He just breathed on them. But sometimes it's legitimate.
But then it's like sometimes I think it's where it's like you see a lot of flags getting thrown where it's like where it's like, bro, if bro is scrambling, what do you want me to do? Like, how, you know how hard it is to try to like form tackle like the league wants you to do, a Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. These dudes, Jalen Hurts squat over 700 pounds. How do I not do what I got to do to take him down?
Because my thing is, if you can hit him with your helmet, you can hit him with your shoulder pad. It's not that not that much different. That's what they're trying to get out there. I agree. Yeah, I don't think they're trying to like change the. Yes, sometimes they go overboard. Everybody's like, "Come on, but really?" But I think for the most part, especially yesterday, they let him play. For the most part, they let him play.
Well,
for once, it's just like
you didn't get a chance to see much of the pass interference because neither team really got home like that. You know what I mean?
At all, yeah.
To sack the quarterback. But my thing when it comes to more of like the rule within itself is, this ain't the day where you got Brady who probably 185 soaking wet. You know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes 230. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's not built like Hurts or like Josh Allen, but he's not a small dude. You know what I mean?
Small dude, yeah, and he's fast. Like
Josh Allen, he a linebacker within himself. Lamar Jackson, he's hard to grab. So it's like a lot of these things like that head and neck area. Sometimes, plus some of these D line, even 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". It's just like
they can't ankle bite. Like
I know. At the end of the day, the NFL is a product, it's a business. You got to protect the interest, right? If Hurts and Mahomes didn't play, it's a whole other Super Bowl. We know this, you know what I mean? So I'm fine. I'm fine with protecting the interest. It's just the fact that it's like what happened with that holding call, Reggie, and I know you remember this as well as you, Devontae. It reminded me of when Brady saw Mahomes in the AFC Championship in 2018.
Yeah.
Brady throws the ball, it gets tipped, it gets picked off. Chiefs they about to win the game. It's game over, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden they happen to see Darrell Williams offsides. You know what I mean? Like now, granted, he's been lining up offsides the entire game. Now you call it on 3rd and 10 after he threw the pick. And if you go back and watch it, the flag came out damn near as Brady threw the pick. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, look, the whole scripted thing, I'm not into that conspiracy theories. Come on. No. Silly, but I do think that the NFL, like, I do think there are certain narratives they do enjoy. You know what I mean?
Brady, of course, it's a business,
right? It's a business, it's marketing. So, look, man, I don't think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs deserved it. I think Patrick Mahomes is incredible. I think Andy Reid might be one of the best play callers of all time. Me and Reggie before the show was talking about how he's literally just using the simplest thing ever, motion, to scheme dudes wide open.
And that comes from watching film. That's all coaching. Right. All coaching. Because I'm talking about wide open twice in the end zone. Like, it's not like you 20 yards downfield. Everybody's bunched up together. Right. How are you wide open in the flats? Twice. Right. Like, how?
On the same exact play, he just flipped it. Yeah.
That's watching film.
So, like, I think Andy Reid, it's time to start putting him in that conversation. I'm not saying he's going to catch Belichick with 6. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is the way he can call a game, you know what I mean? And it's like
the best offensive play caller I've seen in terms of calling offensive plays.
Right.
There is nobody better. There is nobody who called better offense than Andy Reid. I don't think it's a debate.
The crazy part is Mahomes has a laser arm and he's deadly accurate. Mm-hmm. But with Andy Reid as his coach, he doesn't even have to.
He doesn't have to. I mean? Yeah.
Because, like, if you go back and watch the routes, Kelsey, like, he's like catching the ball with dudes that at least 2 or 3 yards away from him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they wide open. So shout out to them. The defense played well. I know they got kind of ran through in the first half, but that's what Philly does. I made a joke yesterday. Like, everybody on a Philly, like, court 7, they squat like 800 pounds each. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they're strong. I thought it was a good game, though. So I do have a question for Reggie, though, before you break out. Where do you have Patrick Mahomes all time now? Obviously, 2 Super Bowls, 2 regular season MVPs, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Every year he's been a starter. He's been in at least the AFC Championship. Where do you have him all time as of right now?
It's hard to rank people like all time. Can you talk about people who play 15, 20 years whose career is done versus people like right now? If he retired today, never touched the football again in his life, I will have him as my number 3 all time, behind Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. If he retired today, but now like if you're talking about potential or even just like talent wise, if you take all the stats away, you just show me films of different quarterbacks. I've never seen a quarterback do what Patrick Mahomes does ever, and that includes even like Aaron Rodgers, who is up there talent wise. It's just the way he makes things so effortlessly. He can make the throws. He can run. He's intelligent. Like the way he'll see something that balls out his hand that quick. He doesn't like react. He reason react at the same time, which is extremely difficult to do.
Right.
And he's just accurate. He's accurate throwing the ball underhanded. Like he threw a left-hand pass early season, which is on the money. Like
right.
Like, are you practicing? Like this stuff? Like you can't even do this. You literally can't do this in Madden.
Right.
Like he's a creative player. So I think right now, if I had to rank him on a GOAT ranking, he's my third all time right now. If he retired today, and I do think he will end up number one. Maybe not a ring. It's very hard to win a Super Bowl. I don't think he's gonna get 7 rings.
Right.
I think he's gonna pass Peyton Manning 5 MVPs. He's gonna have more than 5 MVPs. I think he's gonna get back to the game. He's gonna have at least 4 rings. I think. And he's probably gonna be number 1 passing yards all time touchdowns because of today's game when he's throwing the ball 40 times a game. It's gonna be hard to dispute it.
That's interesting because there is going to come a time where Kelsey's 99% likely to retire before him. Because I think Kelsey has 4 years on him, I think, in the league. Yeah. Andy Reid is probably going to retire, especially if they keep winning. He's going to call it quit soon. You know what I mean? What is he even coaching for? He's going to walk straight into the Hall of Fame. Devontae, where do you have Patrick Mahomes ranked all time as of right now? Obviously, we know this is year 6 for him total. I think year 5 as a starter. Obviously, still young, 27 years old. Where do you have him ranked all time?
I would say he's shy, maybe like shy out. I would say he's top 5, but if I put him at top 5, he's probably like at 5, at 4, or at 5 tops. Like I think he's done enough to where like he might edge out like a Drew Brees, where it's like Drew Brees has 1 ring, but he has all the stats. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like him, A-Rod, and Drew Brees are in like that 4 or 5 spot through like from 3 to 5. They all in that 1 spot fighting for it. But
I do got 1
like,
and 2.
Tom Brady's number 1. Tom Brady's number 1. Peyton Manning is number 2. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I actually hate Peyton Manning. I hate the way Peyton Manning plays. But Peyton Manning has all the stats you can pretty much ask for. And is a 2-time champion, no matter what you say. Okay. So I would
do not count. that's like a bubble ring.
Trust me, I wholly agree. I can't stand Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning is the most overrated quarterback, you ask me. But that's all right. I think he has the potential to be like LeBron. And how I say this about LeBron, I'm put it this way: I think Pat Mahomes will have all the stats in the world, but it'll still be number 2. And that's exactly how I feel about LeBron. LeBron's going to end up having all the stats in the world, but LeBron's going to always be number 2. Because, like, the one thing for me that, like, always will, like, be, like, the thorn in his side is the fact of, like, did we ever get to see...
I know where you're going.
Did we ever get to see Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes? And they mollywopped the Chiefs. Like, he played bad. Bad.
I knew this was coming.
Did he play bad? Or did his receiver drop millions of passes? His offensive line didn't block. He's under pressure the whole game. That's not Tom Brady's doing. That's just the fact that he had 3 linemen out of the game. His receivers even Kelsey was dropping passes in that Super Bowl. What Jason said, they're doing better already. Because I don't know what kind of choke job that team did. But
all right. So now that's my question. Now, Jason, has everybody been? What have I told y'all all year about Tampa Bay? Was Tom ready to be done? Was Tom old? Yes. But did I not tell you half of his offensive line was gone? All of his receivers pretty much was damn near gone all year. Mike Evans is hurt at least 60% of the year. Chris Godwin's hurt 60% of the year. We didn't give him none of that. We didn't say that everything else is just not Brady. It's just Brady. It's Brady's fault. Brady's done. He's throwing the Russell Gage. Who? Exactly. You look at the Chiefs that year. For one of the biggest knocks on Patrick Mahomes early in his career is that he refused to throw the check down routes. He refused to throw to make the easy
play. He
started
doing that, yeah.
Yeah, and after that season is when he started doing that. He started making
it. Growth.
Yeah, that's what happens. But in my opinion,
is third year pro? It happens. You grow. You learn. You grow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but like when I think about like, all right, who I want in the last minute of a game to me when the game's on the line. There ain't no way in hell I'm not picking Tom Brady. It might not be the prettiest. It may not.
Patrick Mahomes was down with 13 seconds left against the Bills in the divisional round, and they won the game.
Tom Brady was down
13 seconds.
Tom
Brady never did that in 13 seconds.
28-3 in the Super Bowl. What are we talking about? I
mean, Matt Ryan blows leads against everybody though. That's different. That's different.
Man, look, So y'all both know how I don't really like doing like ranking like 1, 2, like top 10 or whatever. I have him somewhere in my top 10. It could be 5. It could be like I just know right now I still got Brady. Basically, my top 5 consists of some thing of Brady, Montana, Manning, obviously Peyton when I say Manning. I still would give an edge to somebody like an Elway.
No way. Look at the number. Elway got mollywopped in many Super Bowls before he finally got a running back who carried him to a couple of rings. Elway is up there, and he's in my list with Brett Favre, one of the most overrated athletes of any sport of all time. He's the Goldberg of the NBA, basically. Like watch, like he literally got carried to a couple of championships by shout out Terrell Davis. Before that, he was getting mollywopped in Super Bowl, choking in playoff games. He's a turnover machine.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Let me bring this up. Yesterday was the first time Patrick Mahomes didn't throw at least two picks in a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
He had a Super Bowl where he didn't throw a touchdown at all. That's one. So then Niner game, he threw a pick in the third quarter and he threw a pick in the fourth quarter. Now they won the game, so like I'm not taking nothing away from him. Like Patrick Mahomes is great.
He didn't play that well in the Niner game.
My point is, the only time I've seen somebody really be themselves as a quarterback in the Super Bowl was Mahomes yesterday, Brady, and even though he lost the Philly one, you know what I mean? Because he threw for like 500 yards or whatever. And then Elway, his second one. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, his second one. I was at
he only has 2.
Was that 98? I think that was.
Yeah. You can throw Jalen Hurts in there too. If we really keep it.
Jalen Hurts balled out. Yeah. I was a Jalen Hurts doubter. He balled out. So if you're watching the show, Jalen Hurts, my bad. Like you the man. Like, you the man.
Nah, but like to be fair, because I said this about Tom Brady this entire time. I was like, I want to see him away from Bill. You know what I mean? Because Brady, like Bill and Andy Reid is not the same, but in the sense of Brady always knew, besides that one against Philly, his defense wasn't getting blown out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Patrick knows as long as he got Andy Reid calling plays, the receivers are going to be open.
Yeah.
With that said, I would like to see him without Andy Reid. Look, I don't like Donovan McNabb. I know it's Black History Month, and I know it's a sacrilege. Let's just to say this. I thought he was okay at best at quarterback, and the man brought him to 4 NFC championships and a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, so when he got a good quarterback like Pat Mahomes, of course he's going to have all the success in the world. Alex Smith, he took him to playoffs, and I don't think much of him either. So, like, I just think that I think Pat Mahomes is somewhere in the top 10. I didn't put together a list. I would have to break it down. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes. Shout out to Travis Kelce, who's creeping into the top 3 of his damn self. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Anytime your name is mentioned with Jerry Rice, you're doing something serious.
Right. Absolutely. And I mean, technically, because he went to the playoffs and stuff like that, he finished the year with the most receiving touchdowns, of course. The regular season, I believe he lost by 1 to Devontae Adams. But again, when your name is as a tight end, if you're up there with Devontae Adams and receiving touchdowns and yardage and all that, like obviously you're one of the best. So, but yeah, man. So this last thing is just silly before we get out of here. Reggie, I appreciate your time because I know you're busy. So with that said, give me your way too early Super Bowl matchup for next year. I'm gonna start with you.
Oh damn! Oh god. If I gotta pick right now, I got the Eagles going back out the NFC because I don't know what the Niners are gonna do yet. The Niners still got this weird quarterback problem. You don't know where Derek Carr is gonna end up. So I I don't know if he's going. I can't tell you if he's going to the NFC or the AFC, and I really feel like that matters. So I got the Eagles right now coming back out because they're only gonna get stronger, which is scary to even say.
They got 4 picks. They got 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. I don't know how they do it. Like,
you know, exactly. I got the Eagles going back for right now. I just think they're gonna be too just steroided up at this point. The AFC, do I got the Chiefs going back? No. Do I got the Bills going? No. Honestly, I'm gonna have the surprise pick.
Don't you dare say it. Don't
No,
you?
I'm not. No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about us. I'm not talking about us.
Oh, I was about to say.
No, I'm not talking about us. That's 2025. We coming in 2025. We'll be there in 2025. Heard me. You heard it here. We'll be there in 2025.
Okay.
But I would say if I gotta pick right now, I'm gonna go with Noah. I'm gonna go with the dark horse pick. Nobody's gonna ever talk about. I'm gonna go Baltimore.
All right, he got Philly and Baltimore way too early. Obviously, we got to see the draft picks and stuff like that. But DJ R&B, who you got? Way too early Super Bowl 58 prediction. Your mic cut out. Hold on. I got you right here. Hold on. It says your mic is not connected. I don't know what's going on. You have to. All right. So in the meantime, I'll give mine in case we got folks watching. So my way too early Super Bowl 58 prediction, as it is taking place in Las Vegas next year at the new stadium.
You hear me?
Yeah. All right, yeah. Go ahead. So what's your fit?
Just because I got to run, it's going to be Buffalo versus Minnesota. I think Minnesota is actually going to get it all together, and they're going to be for real this time. Because this year, like, they won a lot of games that they probably shouldn't have won.
Right.
I think they're going to mature and get it together. And same with Buffalo. Buffalo started out destroying teams, and then they kind of like lost all their steam and momentum. I think they're going to get it together. I do think the surprise team, I know we didn't get there yet, in the AFC, my surprise team is going to be the New York Jets. I think the Jets are for real. They're going to get the quarterback situation figured out with the guy named Aaron Rodgers. And then, then the NFC, my surprise team is the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to make a really, really deep playoff run with Geno Smith next year.
All right. So real quick.
I got to go.
All right. Appreciate your time, bro.
Peace,
Shout out
Brad.
to DJ R&B. All right. So my way too early Super Bowl 58 prediction. I got San Fran. I think they find a way to get over the injury bug. Finally, I think McCaffrey with a full year, offensive line still there. I think the defense will be better, and they're already good. I think San Fran will get there. And over on the AFC side, I'm going to go with a dark horse because this is how much I believe in the coaching staff and the principal. I'm actually going to go Denver. I'm going to go Denver. I think Rex Ryan will take that job. I think he is going to become the defensive coordinator. I think Sean Payton and Rex are going to work good together. Now, granted, we'll see how the roster fills out. Broncos got some draft picks. You know what I mean? They're missing a first round pick because obviously that went to Seattle. But you know, I just have a feeling Sean Payton is going to turn things around just like he did when he first got to New Orleans. Sleeper team for me. I think this is the year I can say this. I know some are going to say, it's not really a sleeper. I think Aaron Rodgers goes to Vegas to link up with Devontae Adams. They're not going to the Super Bowl because they're not going to adjust their defense, but I think they're going to make the noise everybody thought they were this year. I think they're going to make that noise next year. I don't see the Jets as a sleeper team only because everybody seems to talk about how they got everything else besides a quarterback.
I just can't believe Reggie put the Vikings in the Super Bowl. That. Anyway, I'm not even gonna talk about that. All right. I didn't do my sleeper because I didn't know that was in there. But so I would give you my sleepers. In the NFC, my sleepers is the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions going to the damn playoffs next year. Mark my words. The Detroit Lions are going to be smacking people in the face, and people ain't gonna like it. Now, my sleeper team in the AFC. I thought about a lot about this because I was like, what? Because the definition, who would be slept on in the AFC? Because I'm because the Dolphins are fast, they're just fast. Where it's they're gonna be ahead. I thought about the Patriots, but I'm they don't got enough yet. They still don't got receivers, and they don't got receivers. Right. They still missing some pieces. I thought about a lot of different teams, and then it came down to my sleeper team, and that will be, of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Are we serious? Do I think we will be the number one seed in the AFC? Hell no. Do I think we'll probably win the AFC North? Hell no. But do I think we will be right there? You damn right.
Okay.
If you're talking about a team that has the talent, who can go do it. Because let's be real here. We started off the season 2-6. Started off the season high.
That's Mike
2-6.
Tomlin. That's Mike Tomlin. He
Won
gonna get to
7 of them
8.
Jones in a
Yeah.
row. Won
He gonna get
7
there.
of them Jones in a row. So like we got a young team full of a pretty good offense, who are all still under contract. We ain't really paying nobody besides TJ Watt. So it's like we can finally we're at like pick like 16 or something like that for the first time in years. So we can actually get something decent at that at that pick. We got all the opportunities to fight. Now, the Bengals will be on top of the AFC North once again. I don't see that changing for a little bit until Baltimore can throw the ball, until the Browns show what they can actually be, until the Ravens actually get Lamar a receiver until the Ravens pay Lamar. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I think that right now the Bengals will stay at top of that division. But when you're talking about those dog teams that are going to be one of those wild card spots fighting, do I think we can outlast a dude like the Chargers? Yes. Why? Because they got Brandon Staley. Let's be real here. I think we could be that team that just so low key just slides it and fights for that pick who you don't want to see. So Of course I'm rocking with my team being that doggy team in the back end.
Okay. I mean, that look, man, you know my philosophy. When you play defense, you got a shot. Yeah, so let's get to these comments and then we'll close it out. So just let y'all know the shows will not be weekly for the time being. Obviously, there are no games to cover. We will do shows around draft, free agencies, and things like that. So, for example, we have a big week in free agency. We'll do a show next week, but it's not just going weekly. But we really appreciate all the support, man. This is the first year of it. I've gotten great feedback, great advice, and things like that. Appreciate it. It's funny, I actually ran this to somebody who watched the show. I didn't even know him. It was crazy. But let's get to the comments real quick. Jessica, appreciate the stars and appreciate the praise hands as always. Levante, Eagles lose. Of course, Giants fans is happy. NFC fans, the NFC East fans are ruthless, bro. They are ruthless to each other. Shout out to Kathleen Doe who donated to the show. Appreciate it. Worst call. I knew it was coming, my man.
They are.
I feel for you. It was within 5 yards. I agree. Look, I hate that rule, man. If it's in 5 yards, it's fair play. That's just the way I see it. You don't call that BS in the Super Bowl. Absolutely agree. He said, "Yep, Devontae did call it," which he did on the BS call. Levante Arnold, been hearing all day on ESPN. They're jumping the gun. I agree, man. Look, I'm a big fan of Patrick Mahomes. Just let it play out.
Yeah.
Just let it play out. You know what I mean? Like, I've been saying this all day. In 10 years, there's going to be a player, right? When Mahomes is top 3 or whatever he is, there's going to be a player who kind of plays like Mahomes or whatever, and he going to win his first playoff game. Oh, he got to be top 5. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the microwave society we live in. And it's funny because they always accuse that to people our age, right? The younger folks. But they're on ESPN and Fox doing it. You know what I mean? So, like, it's just crazy. Like, and then last but not least, Milton said, "Stop, just stop." In regards to the Pittsburgh Steelers being the sleeper team.
Yeah, all right. I don't know. All right. I'm gonna let that rock because I know he in pain right now, so I'm gonna let that rock.
Right. But yo, as always, appreciate all the love and support. As always, y'all, this has been a big success of the first year. Again, be on the lookout for announcements. We will announce when we're doing a show on free agency. And then also, of course, the NFL draft, and we'll pick back up if there's any big news. And then, of course, we'll get ready around the preseason. We'll give official picks and everything. Appreciate the love and support. And as always, we'll catch you guys next time. I'm JB. Devontae, let them know where they can find you.
At Devontae Forever and everything, Jay. Thank you once again for a good season. Until
no
next
doubt.
time.
We out. Peace.
Peace.